We've been looking at so many homes, you just found the one that you want to make an offer on. So what happens next? We negotiate back and forth. After we write the offer to the seller, they accepted our offer, and now what's next? Well, it's called the inspection period. So we have a certain amount of days that we call option that we negotiated with the seller. Could be 3, 5, 7, or even longer if that's what we negotiate. However, during that time frame, we have an opportunity to do our due diligence. And so we hire a licensed inspector amongst other possible inspections that we can perform on the property during this time frame. So this portion of the contract costs you a certain amount of money that we call option money. And that could be anywhere from $100 to $500 or more. Like everything else in a contract, that's all negotiable. So during this time frame, we have a licensed inspector come in, do the inspection, and give us a full report on all the deficiencies in that home. It could be anywhere from foundational and structural, which is our biggest red flag and our biggest concern. Or it could be something as small as there's some nails in the wall popping out, or some drywall came loose. Any of those things or anything that comes up on the inspection report as a deficiency is a negotiable repair item. So once we have the full report, and let's just say there's something wrong with the HVAC system, or it didn't check out and it wasn't performing up to par. Well, we hire an additional company to come in, a licensed HVAC company, to come in and inspect that further. So everything that happens during this time period, during that option period, is all negotiable with repairs, credits, and other things like that. We're just gonna see what are the biggest issues in this home. What are we really concerned about? Because here's the reality. When you're buying a home, even new construction, an inspection report could have pages and pages of deficiencies. And I know that sounds scary, but it's not. It's normal. A home, especially an older home, is gonna have some wear and tear, some lived in, and it's just gonna have some things that are going to be normal deficiencies. So for instance, the inspector may put a deficiency in the home that the sink faucet is loose. Well, sometimes that just takes a wrench and tighten up the nut on that. And it's not that big a deal, but it's gonna show up on the report. So there's things that are just insignificant. There's gonna be like handyman stuff on there that we're not too concerned about. But what we are concerned about and what we look for during this inspection period are structural, roof, mechanical, which is HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and wood rot is a big deal. Why are those things that we look for? Because that is the mechanical, structural, and integrity of your home. So we always want to make sure the foundation's solid. And in some cases, we can actually hire an inspection company that we work with to come inspect the foundation further and make sure that it is okay and it doesn't need repair. Again, if anything is damaged with the foundation or any of these systems, then we just further negotiate and we ask for a credit, a repair, or we back out of the contract. That's the biggest reason why we put an option period in. It protects you as the buyer. If anything comes up where we're just like, man, there's just no way we can move forward on that. It's just catastrophic. There's foundation failure here. Well, what we said earlier, the option period money, the consideration you put up, the $100, $300, whatever it was that we negotiated, that stays with the seller and we can back out of the contract with no further obligation, clear of any liability. So that protects you, and it costs you a little money up front. Generally, it's going to cost you around $400 to $500 for the inspection. It's going to cost you whatever dollar amount we negotiate for the option fee, and then those are the out-of-pocket expenses that it costs to go under contract for a home, go through your option period, do your due diligence, and if it's just not the right home at the end of the day during that time frame, we back out with no further liability. So those are a couple of things I wanted to share with you that we go through once we get under contract. And so you know, it's not end all be all until we get through that option period. Now, once we get past that option period, there's a whole other line of steps that we need to take to get this thing to close. But for now, that is what we do once we go under contract, is we go into our option period, we get the home inspected, and we negotiate repairs, credits, or we move on. It's Albert Ramirez with the Ramirez team. If you have any further questions or you need any help or more detail on this, private message us, DM us, call or text. We're always available to help you with your real estate needs.